Thank you, Olivia. Well, FBI agents were also searching Shamsuddin Jabbar's North Houston mobile home. We sent Chris Joseph to Houston. He was there speaking with neighbors about the man authorities say is responsible for killing 14 people and injuring dozens more. He is there live now. Chris, what did you learn?
Well, the neighbors I was able to speak with really didn't know much about him. And in fact, one individual told me he didn't even realize he lived here. And here's part of the reason why. You're going to see behind me, it's a one-lane neighborhood. So one way in, one way out. But the neighbor told me that the Jabbar and a few other neighbors on the other side of the neighborhood used a different gate, a different way in and out. And so in some ways, you didn't even see him entering and exiting his own very small community. Now, as for the search itself, the FBI wrapped up about this time yesterday around 8 a.m. There have been no formal releases as to what exactly was or was not found, but when we arrived at the property yesterday, you'll see here in a minute, the door was open and it appeared obviously the FBI had been through it. Let's take a listen. A beaten-down door opened the way for cameras to see inside Jabbar's North Houston mobile home. The property was tucked away in a one-road neighborhood, but in the heart of Houston suburbia.
Just fear. Fear the thought that you would have that so close. Yeah.
It made the hairs under my arm rise because you just never, like I told my husband, you never know who your neighbors are. You just never know. Little did we know that we had someone living this close to us that was capable of doing what was done.
CNN reports the mobile home was one of the last places he was before he left for New Orleans Tuesday night. He told a neighbor before he left that he was coming to Louisiana for an IT job. Mumtaz Bashir says he lived next door to Jabbar and asked if he needed help moving out. Bashir says Jabbar told him he was okay and described his load as light.
Blow my mind. I was shocked, like somebody sneezed the carpet under my suit. I was just like too shocked, unbelievable shock.
It's unclear why or how he radicalized, but pieces of his past are coming together. Jabbar was a U.S. citizen, and in a video posted online, he described himself as a Beaumont native. The FBI confirmed Jabbar was an Army veteran. The Associated Press reports he joined in 2007 and served in Afghanistan. Court records show he got divorced in 2008, and his first wife sued him for child support a few years later. In 2017, Jabbar graduated Georgia State University with a bachelor's in computer information. That same year, he married again, but they separated by 2021. Those divorce records show Jabbar was struggling financially and had 3 children. His criminal record only involved a deferred theft charge and a DUI arrest, nothing suggesting terrorism. Just in the last 5 minutes, the FBI Houston office emailed me confirming that it found precursor chemicals at the mobile home, which was about 100 yards this way. As for what those precursor chemicals were, what they're a precursor for, again, no details. They really did not elaborate, but of course, if you've been following the story, you'll know that improvised explosive devices were found in the quarter. So potentially a connection there. I don't want to speculate too much, but again, the term precursor chemicals was found at the mobile home just that way. And again, speaking with neighbors, obviously a shock, and the idea that this could happen so close, that feeling has been paramount as we've been down here in Houston.
Well, Chris, it seems chilling to know that the neighbor offered help and to think that maybe that could have been something that potentially would have hurt someone. The neighborhood, I mean, you just talked about the neighbors there. Are they really taking in, how big of an issue this might have been?
Well, yeah, the theme we heard again and again is that they had no idea. And in fact, the first tip that they got was when they started to hear the helicopters fly over this. Again, this is a very suburban area. And I don't know if you've seen behind me, but, ducks, chickens, dogs, cats. I mean, this is a very low-key and in some ways surprisingly rural area of North Houston. And so the concept that massive helicopters would be flying over, obviously a convoy of law enforcement, entered the premises. And that was their first tip, and so they started to check the news and they pieced it together. But I think the thing that they found most alarming in my conversations with neighbors was what they learned about the videos. If you'll remember, in the FBI press conference, the gentleman said that in one of the videos he contemplated hurting friends and family. Well, you know, this community, we don't know everything about his life, but we got to imagine friends and family might have involved some folks in this neck of the woods. So very concerning for them, and you know, they're just taking it one day at a time. You know, we spoke briefly with a few folks, but they've been talking to reporters all day, and I think, you know, in some sense, I got the feeling that they just want to get back to normal as much as they can, and truly, you know, can't blame them for that.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, great reporting out there, Chris. I know you're going to be going through it for the rest of the day. We appreciate that, following every lead on this critical story here. Thank you so much. We'll see you.